Number 23, Daniela Rodriguez. Number 30, Marianne Matthews.
Good evening and welcome to Game 1 of this crucial three-game NWBL series between the Victoria Wonders and the Sydney Blues, coming to you from the Auburn Basketball Centre. Before we begin, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land on which we gather, the Wongal people of the Eora Nation. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend those respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people watching or listening. This series shapes as a genuine test of finals credentials, with both teams stacked with international experience and looking to make a statement as we enter the second half of the season. The Sydney Blues will be looking out for Georgia Munro-Cook, dominant high pointer and key to their inside game. She's coming off a strong round 3, averaging over 17 points and 10 boards per game, and her presence tonight changes the entire complexion of the matchup. Her likely duel with American import Rose Holloman is going to be a must-watch. Holloman's been exceptional for Victoria, averaging 18 points and 13 rebounds, along with her 5 assists, and has the ability to stretch defences and disrupt Sydney's interior rotations. And keep an eye out for Laura DeVolli of the Wonders. She's been a double-double machine, doing the hard work inside, and will play a key role in supporting Holloman. For Sydney, Marianne Moto brings scoring power from the outside, and if she finds her rhythm early, it could stretch Victoria's defence. Kylie Gauci continues to control the tempo for the Blues, and Marianne Latu is emerging as a real two-way threat, capable of scoring, facilitating and apply full court pressure. For Victoria, veterans like Leanne Del Tosso and Shelley Matheson provide composure and leadership in crucial moments. So much to look forward to as we get underway here in Game 1, and joining me this evening for analysis across the series is Sam Dobell. Sam, plenty to unpack tonight.
Absolutely, Scott. The Sydney Blues are coming off an impressive 3-0 weekend against the Gold Coast Rollers, taking them to a perfect 9-0 record for the season so far. This is their first game back at Parramatta Stadium, and there's plenty to look forward to in tonight's series. The team itself is averaging 60 points a game, 35.6 rebounds per game, and 18.7 assists per game. Players to look out for tonight, Tisha Shadwell, thinking she's going to be absolutely massive in tonight's game. On the other end of the court, you've got Victoria coming off a 1-2 weekend against the Sydney Lions, sitting at a comfortable 7-2 record, hot on the Blues' heels, averaging 53.5 points per game, 32.3 rebounds per game, and 18.9 assists per game as a team. Combo of DeVolli and Del Tosa has been absolutely lethal so far, especially with Shirley Mason dishing out 7 dimes a game on average. It's going to be a game to watch tonight, Scott.
Absolutely. Very, very much looking forward to this matchup. The Sydney Blues 9-0 on the season. We've seen them a couple of times already this year, absolutely dominating. And it's not just been their offensive power, it's been their defence as well, Sam.
Yeah, their defence has been absolutely huge. You're talking about their engine room behind them. You've got to start off with Georgia Munro-Cook. She's been an absolute elite this season, talking MVP numbers, 22.4 points, nearly 11 rebounds a game, and about 5 assists per game as well. But the one that you've got to look out for is their import at the moment, Mari Amamoto. She's got about roughly 3.3 steals per game, and that's just not coming from an elite basketball perspective. That's just coming from her game IQ. She sees the floor and the passes before they even happen.
Yeah, she's got a lot of length. Watching her warm up in their little 3-on-3 games was very impressive. A lot of length, gets those arms in those passing lanes. There's a lot of height there between Amamoto and Georgia Munro-Cook. Then you throw in Latu and Gauci. That's just going to be a problem. It's a big ask for the Wonders, but they were looking very impressive in their warm-up, and I am very much looking forward to Del Tosso playing and seeing her for the first time live in action as teams are entering the floor. So it will be Del Tosso and Munro-Cook against each other in the tip-off.
This is a matchup that you want to be watching tonight, Scott. Munro-Cook down in the low post, especially against Del Tosso. It's going to be a tough battle. I'm expecting lots of heavy contact down in that low post tonight.
If anyone who hasn't watched much wheelchair basketball, it is certainly a contact sport. You will be hearing throughout our broadcast, and we are right on the sideline here. We are a part of the action, and the contact between the chairs, between the players, is very, very intense. And we have a little false start. Munro Cook wins the tip, straight down to Eagle Bast, and then to Latu. Latu looks to be running the points early. Always a threat from the 45. Out to Anamoto. Anamoto short early. Rebound goes to Davoli.
Yeah, unlucky shot there by Mamamoto. The spacing was definitely on for the Blues there, but they've come back well off this.
Bit of heavy contact down at the 45 there for Davoli, but she kicks the ball. Oh, great ball movement by the Wonders as Melanie Adams, the one-pointer, gets our scoring underway for the evening.
Great start to the game.
Georgia Munro Cook cannot let her get that close, but Latu is just as big a threat down low. Great defense by Davoli. Out to Latu. Anamoto from her spot out there on the side. Beautiful looking spot. And the shot goes down for two, and we are all tied up. 1 minute gone.
And that comes back to that spacing again, Scott. The spacing that Sydney creates with Gauchi, Latu and Amamoto just allows Georgia to fly and work inside to get that off ball out to Amamoto.
Exactly right, Sam. Down low, Adams back out to Sarah Kalati, but she was short of that one. Sydney on the fast break. Munro Cook to Amamoto. Amamoto resets. Amamoto pass over the top to Munro Cook. Player down at half court. So Kalati, the 4.5 player, will get back up with the assistance of Amamoto and Latu. 1 minute 40 seconds gone here in the first quarter. Auburn Basketball Centre. Sydney 4, Victoria 2. Laura Davoli controlling the point for the Victoria Wonders. Del Tosso at the point. Block shot. Ball will go to the Sydney Blues.
Yeah, great defense there by the Blues. They were all up in Victoria's face then, especially Marimoto.
Marianne Latu bringing the ball down for the Sydney Blues. Out to Kylie Gauchi. Gauchi has such great chair control. Back out to Latu. Always a shooting threat. Commentators curse. Sam did it again.
Short that time, but expecting her to pick up for the rest of the game.
Marianne will come and find me in a dark corner of this Auburn Basketball Centre to make sure I don't do that again.
And just having a look at the full court press here by the Sydney Blues, they've kind of picked up the intensity. And as I say that, there's Gauchi right there with the perfect steal.
Kylie Gauchi, impressive player. Amamoto from the baseline. It's her fourth point for the game. Victoria will bring it back through Del Tosso. Oh, great move by Davoli. Unable to convert. Found herself too wide open. Georgia Munro Cook looking to push the tempo. Kylie Gauchi. Munro Cook's creating the space. Gauchi misses the shot, but Munro Cook is there for the rebound.
Yeah, no surprises there. Scott Munro Cook carving up again. So composed in that paint. You've got to give a credit where credit's due.
So it's Sydney Blues 8, Victoria Wonders 2. Leanne Del Tosso. Controlled by Amamoto. Davoli back to Del Tosso. And that will be a foul on Georgia Munro Cook. Just animated Troy Sykes from the sideline, head coach of the Sydney Blues. trying to talk about the defensive pressure and where they're going to control the tempo. Del Tosso defended by Kyle Gauci. Shoots long. Rebound, Marianne Latu. Latu's found some open space. It's a 3-on-2 situation for the Sydney Blues. Latu's going to take it in herself off the backboard. And Laura Davoli, great job on defense there. And the rebound. Del Tosso kicking the ball out. So Kalati looking for space. Open on the baseline. Beautiful shot from about 10 feet. So it's Sydney 8, Victoria 2. Just over 4 minutes gone in the first quarter. Gauci looking for space. Should bring it out and reset into Emamoto. Emamoto behind with the reverse layup. And that will see the Victoria Wonders calling timeout. Sydney 10, Victoria 4. Sam, it's been an impressive start for Sydney.
Mate, that has been an impressive start, and as you could tell, I don't know if anyone watching the live stream could hear Coach Troy going off over there. Yeah, Sydney needs to just really push that tempo down low, especially on that 3-and-2 fast break. A little bit of passing. Don't leave them so wide open from the Victoria standpoint. It'd be interesting to know what's going on in that huddle at the moment. It'd be very defense focused.
Yeah, Coach Jeremy Sinnott talking about the pressure on the baseline. One of the joys of being in the smaller stadium is that we can genuinely hear what's going on in the timeouts. Sydney looking a lot more relaxed in their timeout. Troy Sachs, as I've said many times, renowned as being a passionate player, went back in his playing days. Absolute legend of the Australian Paralympic team. I'm having, we've both talked about being teachers. You're a pre-service teacher, and that is my regular day job. That warning bell is making me think the period's over.
It's making me feel like recess is over and playtime's done. It's now time to go to work.
I thought you were about to say playtime's about to start. With your young self there. So Victoria will inbound the ball from the baseline. So it has all been Davoli and Del Tosso so far.
No substitutions as of yet, Scott. You wonder if fatigue management starts
Tori Simpson's come in.
Tori Simpson's come in.
For the Sydney Blues. So Latu was having a break for the Blues. Shot clock down to 4. Victoria need to get this one up. It was long. Rebound, Georgia Munro-Cook pushing the tempo. She found herself open. She got Gauci open on the other side. Davoli is able to stop her. But Emamoto, geez, this 1-2 punch of Munro-Cook and Emamoto, that's going to be tough for any team to stop in this league.
Absolutely, Scott. Mari plays like she's got eyes in the back of her head. She's always one step ahead of her defense, and that was just a perfect pass through Munro-Cook there.
Davoli, little turnover. Kylie Gauci forces the turnover. The speed on Gauci. Great effort by Laura Davoli to create the opportunity for Gauci to have to go out and reset. But it just keeps coming. Georgia Munro-Cook from the block, as easy as you like. Captain of the Australian Gliders, showing why she's such a well-renowned player.
Yeah, so you can't coach touch like that. Georgia just floats those finishes in with ridiculous efficiency, Scott.
So that's an offensive foul on Melanie Adams. Couple of subs coming in for the Sydney Blues. Jess Cronje and Taisha Shadwell. Geez, when that's what's coming off the bench, it's just, there's no rest at the moment.
Especially with Shadwell, you're looking at 7.6 boards and 2.6 steals. So.
And straight away into Shadwell. Great pass from Tori Simpson.
Straight away, as we say that, straight onto the board in the first 10 seconds of being on the court.
So Isabel Martin in the backcourt. Clock running down. They force the turnover. Gauci gets the ball down to Shadwell, and Shadwell scores again.
And that's vintage Gauci right there, just threading the needle. It's her sixth sense, Scott.
Yeah, she's just always present. So Shadwell and Simpson set up at the top of the zone. Eagle Bast defending Del Tosso. Del Tosso, great shot from the baseline. Other side of the court this time. And that takes her total to 4 for the game.
Yeah, well done there to Del Tosso. You can tell she's a veteran. Her composure through that shot then was ridiculous.
Loose pass from Gauci. See what's going to happen. Again, that speed. She tries to save it. But Del Tosso able to control. Adams at the free throw line. Gets the ball back to DeVolly. DeVolly out to Del Tosso. Jess Cronje is going to be called for that foul. Cronje just a bit energetic on defense. So we'll see Latu come back into the game for Kylie Gauci.
Yeah, smart subs there by coach. Defense and a little bit more muscle on the inside for the Blues. Might limit those shots a bit more from Victoria.
The volley back to Del Tosso. Del Tosso, a great shooter. Tori Simpson, tap rebound to Shadwell. And we've got an illegal screen called on Tori Simpson. So ball will stay with in this half of the court with the Victoria Wonders. There'll be 14 on the shot clock. Coming in, Shay Graham for Victoria Wonders. Her first minutes of the game.
Yeah, quiet worker, Shay Graham. She'll do the tough stuff that nobody notices, but her teammates absolutely love her for it.
Yeah, those players, they get those high plus minuses and efficiency, but they won't get any other stats. They set the screens, they do all the hard work. So the shot clock expires. Oh, no, it won't be a shot clock. We do have a foul. So there's a foul. So foul is called on Victoria Simpson. Tori gets her second foul in quite quick succession. And ball will stay with the Wonders. Bit of confusion on the court. But again, our close proximity allowed us to hear the referee's conversation.
Yeah, probably not something that you would have picked up on that live stream then. A little bit of confusion as to who's ball and if there was a foul or not. And as you said, Scott, 2 fouls quite early for Melanie. For Victoria Simpson, sorry. Substitution coming out for her right now.
Okay, so the referees are a bit upset about how the shot clock's operating, so that's why we've got a bit of a delay here. So there'll be a bit of a chat. 2 minutes 10 remaining in the first quarter. It's the Sydney Blues 18, Victoria Wonders 6. So our referees this evening are just having a quick chat. Normally I have my referees listed here. I've made a mistake here somewhere. I do apologise, everyone at home, everyone in Victoria. Lots of love for you down there. Hello to my family in Montmorency, if they're tuning in. Been paying a lot of attention to the NBL 1 South this year. Friends and former players that I used to coach playing down there. So, all right. So, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Victoria ball from their baseline in their attacking half. Jess Pello's in for her first minutes of the game. Del Tosso defended by Pello. Marianne Latu straight away getting her hands in the passing lanes, knocking the ball out. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Victoria will keep possession. Del Tosso looking for space. She's a threat there. Shot clock down to 3. Great pass. Unable to convert. Ball on the ground. Scrapping. Cronje comes up with the ball. And Shadwell's pushing the tempo. Latu. Great control. Latu, who's just been overseas with the 3-on-3 team for Australia. Latu has the shot. Short that time. Isabel Martin with the rebound. Laura de volley. Volley gets the ball. Download. Great pass. Victoria unable to convert. Isabel Martin just a little bit long. Latu gets right down low. She will make that shot every time. And our top of the table clash is turning into a top of a table blowout as it's 20 points to 6. 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, well done there to Marianne Latu. Her ability to slide between roles mid-game has been absolutely huge. She's a glue player and a playmaker all rolled in all into one, Scott. Difficult to have in today's day and age.
Again, there's that player, Latu. Oh, well done by Victoria. Able to stop the fast break and actually turn that into an 8-second violation in the backcourt. So it will be Victoria ball. 39 seconds remaining on the clock. Laura de volley having to go right up against the score bench. Not much room in the Auburn Basketball Centre. Gets the ball back out to Shea Graham. Shea Graham gets it to Del Tosso. Del Tosso, with the shot clock expiring, makes the 45-degree shot. And clock running down. 16 seconds remaining. Latu going to hold on to it for the last shot. Make sure Victoria has no chance. Latu drives the lane and will go to the free throw line for 2. Fouls on Shea Graham.
And for anyone who didn't pick that up on the live stream, Coach Troy yelling out to players, stop following rainbows, follow the other players.
Latu makes the first free throw. Such a strong player. Misses the second. Shadwell fighting for it. Ooh, Shadwell hits the ground hard. Jump ball situation. So the ball will go to the Wonders with 4.9 seconds remaining. Tisha Shadwell actually had to get out of the chair to get up. Jess Cronje defending Laura de volley. And Jess Pello all over Isabel Martin.
Surprised there's no foul in that one there. That was very heavy contact down low.
It's a
by
lot
Victoria.
of work. A lot of work off the ball right now, Sam. The ball is nowhere near coming into play, but they're still going. Something that's very different in wheelchair basketball is just the defensive pressure. There's not going to be much of a chance of a shot here. And there it is. That's the end of the first quarter. We finish up the Sydney Blues 21, Victoria Wonders 8. Sam, very impressive opening stanza from all members of the Sydney Blues.
Yeah, Scott, it's been an absolute masterclass by the Blues, showing why they're sitting 9-0 currently on the table. For Victoria, you might be starting to wonder where Victoria has actually gone in this game so far, but it all comes down to that Sydney Blues defence. Very, very tough and very, very physical down low for Sydney so far. It's good to see.
Yeah, Sydney's defence has been their hallmark, and keeping the 7-2 Victoria Wonders to just 8 points in the first quarter while scoring 21 of their own. But Sydney were quite physical, and we did see a lot more fouls called on the Blues than we did on the Wonders. So they were in the penalty. Didn't force any trips to the line for the Wonders, but it was close. And I'm sure, that was a hallmark of Troy Sachs in his playing career, and it's certainly something we're going to see in this game for his Sydney Blues. having a look at some of our top performers, Sam. What have we got so far in today's game?
Yeah, so far you've got Mari Aramoto sitting at 8 points from 4 from 5, so she's sitting at a nice even 80% for the game so far. Georgia Munro Cook not far behind her with 6 points, 3 from 3 shooting. She's got 3 rebounds and 1 assist to go along with that as well. Looking in at Kyle Gauchi, no points on the board as of yet, missing her first one, but 3 assists and 3 steals to go along with that. And it's only just 10 minutes of play.
Yeah, Sydney's shooting the ball at 66% to start the game. You would have to imagine they'll cool down soon enough, but Victoria struggling, shooting the ball just 30%. And the rebounds is where it's certainly making a huge difference. Sydney with twice as many as the Wonders.
Yeah, 10-5 rebound count to Sydney at the moment. 8-2 on rebounds and 3-1 on steals and 3-0 on blocks to Sydney. So Sydney are just absolutely everywhere on the stat sheet at the moment. You start to wonder what Victoria's game plan might be coming out of this timeout right here.
So with that late jump ball with less than 5 seconds on the clock, it's actually going to be Sydney's ball. It's a tight space. I think the referees are coaching right now. Oh dear. Referees don't like us being this close. Of course. No, wonderful community in Wheelchair Basketball Australia. Thank you so much for joining us on the live stream, or if you're watching later. Scott Deeks and Sam DeBell as Marianne Latu misses a long shot. Probably not the shot that Coach Sachs was looking for. Still 11 seconds remaining on the shot clock there. Defense. Daniela Eagle-Bast just thumping Harriet Caldwell out of the way.
Yeah, Eagle-Bast, she gives you grit. She's strong in the box outs and physical in the lanes. Definitely one to watch for the rest of the game.
Jess Pello is going to get her first foul for the game, and that will send Leanne Del Tosso to the line.
Yeah, not particularly someone that you want to send to the line, Scott. Very efficient from the charity stripe.
So thank you for tuning in. Wheelchair Basketball Australia on YouTube. Just Pello taking up some of the space that Davoli wanted. So Leanne Del Tosso, first free throw. I'm assuming she made it because I've got a great view of the referee right now. So I'm just going to look around.
Yeah, fortunate to make the first one there, Scott.
Second one rims out. Jess Cronja with the rebound. So our referees for this evening, Helen Marie Rosenberg, Adam McIntyre and Alexander Palmer. Latu down to Cronja and down to Jess Pello. Jess Pello just short off the right side of the iron.
Just short, but worrying signs there for Victoria. You cannot leave Sydney Blues a lane open like that.
So Shelley Matheson's entered the game for the first time this evening. Matheson with a hook pass out to Del Tosso. Del Tosso down to DeVolli. Laura DeVolli long on the shot. And that will go out of bounds. Sydney ball from their backcourt. Substitutions coming in for Sydney Blues, and that will see Munro Cook enter the game. And Tori Simpson. Simpson with those 2 fouls. We'll be making sure that she's...
Yeah, normally a very calm player, Scott, but a bit feisty early on, picking up 2 early fouls. You'd wonder if she goes back to her calm roots.
Yeah, one of them was offensive, so she just caught in the wrong place for that illegal screen. Taisha Shadwell from long range. Not normally her shot, but she's very, very capable. Well, the referee thought about calling a foul, but was unable to. Tori Simpson is going to be caught in the backcourt. Harriet Caldwell. Del Tosso. And Laura DeVolli a bit long. So the shot clock will reset 14 seconds on the shot clock. Shelley Matheson kicks the ball down low. That's too much under the basket there for Diwali. So now Latu is pushing the tempo. Victoria have got their defence back. So Latu will reset.
Yeah, good work to Victoria for being able to get back onto that defence fast.
Tori Simpson, again, under the basket. It's a tough shot to make. Unable to get the backboard. And Laura Diwali. Laura Diwali down low to Harriet Caldwell. Harriet Caldwell shoots over the top of Marianne Latu. And it's 21-11, so the defensive improvement that we were talking about from Victoria, we have seen it.
Yeah, good to see from the Victorian standpoint of view. Nice boxing out there.
Del Tosso with the rebound. Okay, it took a three-way conference, but they've decided it's Sydney's ball.
Yeah, right decision there by the referee calling Sydney ball.
Well done, seeing all the way through all those chairs there, Sam.
Yeah, it's a bit intimate over here, Scott, at the moment. There's a lot of players on top of us when they come on this side of the court. Very hard to see what's going on.
I could not tell. I'm happy to defer to the referees. Very experienced crew. Georgia Munro-Cook off the glass for two. Munro-Cook with her 8th point of the game.
Yeah, she's heating up early, Scott. No surprises if she's getting back into that double-double range like we're used to seeing.
Harriet Caldwell was doing a lot of work off the ball there. Allowed Shelley Matheson to set her up. There's Kylie Gauci, just so quick, so fast down the floor. Gauci will shoot. Unable to convert this time, but defensive pressure straight away. Shelley Matheson is feeling the pressure. Tori Simpson has got the ball. Gets it to Munro-Cook. Munro-Cook. Amamoto's come back on the floor. Amamoto looking for Munro-Cook. Great defense from Isabel Martin to stop Munro-Cook getting in there. But Tori Simpson will take the shot. Not able to score on this occasion. And Shelley Matheson pushing the tempo. Isabel Martin sets the screen. Hands everywhere. Players everywhere. Oh, that ball spent an eternity on the hoop for Diwali, but not able to convert. Turns out convert's my favourite word of the night, Sam.
Usually mine's you know, and I've had to stop myself from saying you know a few times because not everyone knows exactly what I'm going on about.
You know, that's a good thing to say. As once again, Isabel Martin with the rebound. She's working so hard off the ball. Shelley Matheson looking to get the ball down low to Laura Diwali. Diwali gets her own rebound out to Del Tosso. Del Tosso shooting threat from out wide as Amamoto, the Japanese import, gets the rebound. Multiple-time Paralympian Kylie Gauci with the ball, Sam.
Yeah, that change of pace and intensity from Victoria has really caught Sydney off guard. Sydney playing on the back end of this offence now.
Georgia Munro-Cook with an uncharacteristic wayward pass. Picked off by the Wonders. Laura Diwali gets the ball down to Del Tosso. Del Tosso, she's under the basket. Won't be able to convert from there. And we've got a foul. Shelley Matheson thought she was going to get away with it too. Wasn't for that pesky referee.
Yeah, mismatch call down there, down low. Could have gone either way for her and just went on the side of calling the foul there.
So a few changes on the floor. Subs everywhere.
And again, Scott, ball not even in, and there's a lot happening down low already. Lots of contact.
I just love wheelchair basketball for that, Sam. The game doesn't stop. The clock might be turned off, but it doesn't stop. Munro-Cook to Amamoto. Amamoto gets a little bit of backboard, but that's it. And Melanie Adams will get the rebound. Sorry, that was Isabel Martin. My apologies. It's Melanie Adams has come back onto the court. So Leanne Del Tosso out wide, out to Diwali. The volley, nice shot. And Troy Sachs has seen enough and will call a timeout. We've got 3 minutes 56 remaining. The Sydney Blues have only scored 2 points this quarter. It's 23. Victoria Wonders, 15. Big changes, big swings early through this second quarter, Sam.
Yeah, nice little 11-2 run there to start this quarter. We've got about 3 minutes and 56 seconds remaining till half time. And you've got to really ask the question, what would be Troy Sachs' approach right now in this little puddle?
Well, Sachs has got Munro Cook and Mari Amamoto back on the floor. Both of them have 8 points apiece. So that's 16 of their 23 points. Whereas for the Victoria Wonders, they've got Leanne Del Tosso on the floor. Now, for some reason, Laura DeVolly is on my stat sheet as having not scored, so I'm not sure what's going on there. She's got one there.
Two points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist so far.
The old hot spot bringing me undone. And we're back on the floor, and the defense is already starting. Tori Simpson having to fight her way through. Laura DeVolly and Leanne Del Tosso just not letting her through. Munro Cook. DeVolly will defend Munro Cook. Great work by DeVolly. Tori Simpson setting the screen. Del Tosso and Jess Pello. Jess Pello will not get a stat for that, but her work off the ball allowed Georgia Munro Cook to score there. Outstanding work from the Sydney Blues. The ball needs to come in eventually here. Not sure what the conversation was. Del Tosso with the ball, a 3-point line. Munro Cook waiting patiently. Sarah Kalati down low. Kalati as the shot clock running down. Del Tosso gets up with the ball. Adams, she's down low. Yeah, hands all over the place. Not able to get a shot up. Munro Cook looking for something. Troy Sachs calling for the team to push. Amamoto gets the ball from Gauchi, gets her own rebound. Second time. You can't give her a second chance shot.
And that's
Sydney 27, Victoria 15.
Just great basketball there by the Sydney Blues, Scott. Great basketball, great court vision by the Freeze.
So the timeout has led to that change in momentum. Del Tosso too long and to the left of the iron. Munro Cook kicks the ball out to Gauchi. Gauchi on the move. Tremendous chair control. Gauchi into Tori Simpson. Tori Simpson took a bit long to get her shot off there. I think she'd be frustrated by that. Ball's running to the sidelines. It's going to stay with the Sydney Blues. 14 seconds will be on the shot clock. 2 minutes and 8 remaining here at Auburn Basketball Centre.
Yeah, Tori Simpson leaning quite heavily back in the chair there to get that shot off. Good defense from Victoria.
The Wonders looking magnificent in their orange strip this evening. Georgia Munro Cook for the Sydney Blues. Good rebound battle there between Amamoto and Del Tosso, but Del Tosso taps the ball out. Laura DeVolly stopped by Jess Pello. Short shot by Sarah Kalati. Adams unable to get the ball over the front of the rim. Kylie Gauchi pushing the tempo again, as we always say. And that's not going to be a foul on that play. Gauchi's back up. The shot clock issue. So shot clock will wind down to 18 seconds. Referee Rosenberg getting the shot clock sorted. Victoria have really come out firing this second quarter. But Sydney have responded after that timeout, Sam.
Yeah, nice little response there by Sydney Blues, hoping that Victoria can have some sort of composure.
Sarah Kalati shoots the ball long. Adams kicking the ball into Del Tosso. Del Tosso struggling. Shot clock going down. Oh my goodness, what a buzzer beater. Leanne Del Tosso from just inside the three-point line in the far corner. Had something in her eye just before and converts. What a shot.
Yeah, hit in the face there, Scott. Massive composure by the veteran.
Rebound by Kalati. Looking for Del Rosso, looking for Davoli. Isabel Martin taking a whack as she's going through. Laura Davoli converting. Now Sydney will push the tempo.
Great shot there by Davoli. Also worth mentioning Isabel Martin. Great there on defense.
Georgia Munro Cook, as calm as you like, from about 15 feet. Such an offensive threat. Had the pleasure of talking to her father after round one, Sam, and just talking about how hard she works every day. She's such a committed athlete, working so hard, and and she's been rewarded with her international experience, and now looking to, putting up these MVP style numbers in the Women's National Wheelchair Basketball League this year.
Yeah, surprised to see her play tonight, Scott. We were a bit worried if she was going to be here, if she's going to be playing for Manly. Does absolutely everything for both teams. She's putting up MVP numbers in this league, putting up almost MVP numbers for Manly as well, and then just her international presence on the stage as well. It's absolutely unreal to watch.
Absolutely. Well, Sam, we have got half-time at Auburn Basketball Centre. Sydney Blues, after coming under pressure during the start of that quarter, are now in the lead 29-19. So outstanding turnaround for Victoria, but the composure and the experience of the Sydney Blues have kept them in the hunt, Sam.
Yeah, and it definitely shows you how this team is going 9-0 at the moment. Their composure on and off the ball, Scott, has been absolutely amazing to see. They got into a little bit of a struggle there early in the second quarter, and then have managed to come back. The fast break points have been absolutely killing Victoria. They're looking at 11 fast break points from Sydney to 2 fast break points to Victoria. So Sydney being able to capitalise a lot easier on those fast break plays. And
it's the points in the paint. 20 points for the Sydney Blues. Victoria just been unable to stop that inside combination of Shadwell and Munro Cook and Mari Yamamoto.
Yeah, all three of those players inching closer and closer to double figures. Munro Cook sitting with 12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist and 1 steal so far. Kyle Gauchi, no points so far, but sitting at a lovely 3 assists and 4 steals. The steals have been huge so far for the Sydney Blues. It's led to those fast break points and their lead so far.
Yeah, leading the way for the Victoria Wonders. Leanne Delta also has 7 points. Harriet Caldwell with 4, and Laura Davoli also has 4. Shelley Matheson, she didn't play a whole heap of minutes, but she's ended up with the 5 rebounds. Isabel Martin, who we keep talking about all her hard work off the ball, has 4 rebounds. Davoli with 3. So Sam and I, we're going to take a break here from the Auburn Basketball Stadium, where it's the Sydney Blues 29, Victoria Wonders 19. Welcome back to the Auburn Basketball Centre. Just so everyone at home is aware, for our friends in Victoria, I know that it's not as cold in Sydney as it is in Victoria, but we are certainly feeling it on the sidelines. So, Sam, during that break, I went and had a chat to both coaches. And it's very interesting. Coach Jeremy Sinnott from the Victoria Wonders, he was quite happy with how his team was going. You know, they're missing one of their key players tonight. And she's out with flu-like symptoms, to use the NBA term. But the team is producing well. He was very, very impressed with the second quarter, but he did talk about the need to stop the points in the paint. Meanwhile, the coach who's actually leading the game, Troy Sachs, very, very frustrated with his team's defensive approach. Frustrated, they've been trying to play a zone defense, and they too often have been going into a man. And so he is very frustrated with their defense. So it will be interesting to see how the teams perform in the second half.
Yeah, as a coach and a player, Scott, it's a bit hard to try and differentiate, especially between a zone and a man. I can only imagine how much harder it would be in a league like this, where the game is constantly going and constantly running.
So we're having a few technical issues here. So, the good old possession arrow. A possession arrow. Bring back the jump ball. It's my hill to die on. I missed the jump ball. I get it though, as for under 12s, you know, it was a lot of jump balls in under 12s games, but
yeah, only 10 years ago for me, under 12s.
Oh, okay, rightio. Thank you. Look, my under 12s finished in 1992. So, and we're back underway. Shelley Matheson controlling the tempo. Great pass into DeVolly. DeVolly's got defensive all over her. And Munro Cook sends that ball flying over the baseline.
Yeah, hands everywhere in that play. Surprised no foul being called, but great defense early by the Sydney Blues.
Gauci with the defensive assignment on Del Tosso. They're making her life hard. Ball into Hampton. Matheson's gone down. Latu flicks the ball out to Gauci. Cronya's got the ball, kicks it over to Munro Cook. Munro Cook with the layup. Matheson's still down in back play.
Yeah, great little three-man screen to set Delvosi off that ball, getting that nice little steal and then pushing that fast break points. That takes them up to 13 fast break points already, Scott. Too good from Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney, just everyone, as soon as the ball is in their hands, they're pushing, trying to get ahead of the ball, and they're willing to give up a good shot for a better shot. So Matheson is back up and about now. So Victoria will inbound the ball with DeVolly. DeVolly to Del Tosso and back to DeVolly. And up to Matheson. We've had some big hits. People have hit the deck hard tonight. Matheson, Jess Cronje shutting that down. DeVolly from the free throw line. She is starting to warm up. Took a while to get off the mark, but now she's got 6 points. Munro Cook. Latu sets the screen for Munro Cook. Munro Cook with that huge reach advantage. Just able to shoot over the top of all those outstretched hands. But not able to score in this occasion. Matheson. Great screen set by Shea Graham.
Feels special. Nice little touch on the ball right there from the commentary box.
Yeah, so much so that she called that foul on Blue 8. Oh, no, that's Georgia. Okay. For some reason, I got confused between Women's League and Wheelchair League. Different number in Wheelchair League. Okay. Matheson. Tori Simpson's going to pick up her third foul on that play. So that's something for Coach Troy Sachs to be aware of. He's onto it already before the bench have even told him. He knows what's going on. So Del Tosso. Matheson. Matheson, Cronio, all there up in the grill. The volley from out wide. Nice shot. Laura De Volley.
Yeah, she's like a Swiss Army knife, Scott. She'll hurt you from the elbow, on the block, or with our drive.
I like that, the Swiss Army knife. Munro Cook missing to the left. Matheson pushing the tempo. Matheson with a great pass. Too long from Kim Hampton. Gauchi working her way through the middle. Just also putting hands in, not able to knock it loose. Gauchi into Munro Cook. That reach advantage that Munro Cook has is so substantial.
Victoria really working to limit Munro Cook from getting back on defence.
Hampton, De Volley's going backwards. Matheson. That's going to be a Victoria Wonders ball.
Yeah, just touched there at the end by Gauchi, leading out to that Victoria ball.
So Tori Simpson and Jess Cronio will head to the bench as Eagle Bast and Amamoto come in.
And Amamoto straight onto it, straight onto De Volley. You got to think that defensive assignment's going to work wonders for the Blues now.
Del Tosso inbounding the ball to Graham. Back to Del Tosso. Matheson. Shot clock down to 6. Matheson. Hampton. Too long. Latu gets the rebound. Latu has the crowd support. Biggest noise of the night so far. Munro Cook down to the block. Gauchi setting screens. No foul on that play. Amamoto. Moto, she's a great shooter. You can see there. No hesitation.
In Social League, we like to call that the Sammy D off the glass. Mamamoto, bank open all night as Munro Cook with a steal there.
Amamoto gets the ball out to Gauchi. Back to Amamoto. Troy Sachs encouraging Kylie Gauchi to shoot the ball.
Yeah, surprising if you will not be able to hear that on the live stream. Again, Kylie Gauchi being screamed at to shoot the ball.
I think they heard that at Lidcombe train station to just. So this has been flashbacks for me, Sam. Because see, you're too young to know, but we had this thing in Sydney in 2000 called the Olympics and Paralympics, and Lidcombe Station was where I had to get off to go to work in the Athletes Village. So.
Yeah. Bit before my time as a 5-second violation called there on Victoria, heading into Blues ball now.
Always fun, though, to come out this way and for me to remember. I was only 18 then, so, you know, I was the youngest you were allowed to be a volunteer. Gauchi inbounding the ball to Munro Cook. Amamoto's out wide, surveying her options. Amamoto from the elbow. De Volley with the rebound, but Amamoto's not letting it go away. Kim Hampton throws the ball away. Gauchi getting the ball to Amamoto. Tremendous chair control by Amamoto, but not able to convert on that situation. Unusual. We've talked about how great a shooter she was, but in that situation where she had an open basket, it was on the left-hand side. I guess I can give her that one.
Just trying to go for the fancier shot rather than the simple shot. Nice little rebound there by Kyle Gauchi, unable to convert that time, Scott.
Shelley Matheson inbounding the ball to Shea Graham. Ball up in the air. Kylie Gauchi controls the ball, stops before the halfway line. On offense, Gauchi working her way through. Got the shot up, but was too much under the basket. Daniela Eagle-Bass working hard to get back. Matheson. Kim Hampton. Short off the front of the rim. Hampton took a hit to the face there, it would appear. Matheson. De Volley. De Volley's going to need to shoot this ball. She's got 2 seconds. Too long. Does get a bit of the ring, so no shot clock violation. Amamoto We're going up and down right now. Kylie Gauchi's called for an illegal screen on Diwali. So we have a timeout on the floor. Victoria are going to have a chat. Marianne Latu getting the hand from Del Tosso. And yet, timeout. It is the Sydney Blues 33, Victoria Wonders 23. 10-point game here at the Auburn Basketball Centre.
Yeah, interesting to see Victoria call a timeout there. I definitely thought that was going to go the other way to Sydney Blues. Troy Satch sitting down at the moment, very calm and composed. Not screaming, not yelling, just trying to reel his players back in.
So Victoria have stayed in the game. And like I said, Jeremy Sinnott very, very happy at halftime with the performance of his team. And they're just quietly going about it. But the whole game was a little bit up and down there for a couple of minutes. So both teams, maybe that's what he wants to talk about. A bit more control and, controlling the pace and the flow so that they can continue with this comeback.
Yeah, still a very close game. 10 easy points. Not something that the Victoria Wonders can't complete.
With Gina G playing in the background. Victoria and Sydney coming back onto the floor. Referees getting impatient, wanting the players back on the floor.
Understandable. It's a disgustingly cold 7 degrees up here at Lidcombe at the moment.
Colder inside the refrigerator. That is the Auburn Basketball Centre, home of the Parramatta Wildcats. Isabel Martin's returned into the game, getting a lot of pressure from Latu. Del Tosso with the ball down to Adams. And it's come off Adams, so it will be Sydney ball. Oh. Laura DeVolly back on her chair. It will be Sydney ball. Marianne Latu. Latu into Munro Cook. Munro Cook just stopped that ball as easy as you like with one hand. Just plucked it out of the air.
The reach on Munro Cook is absolutely insane, Scott. Being able to reach that ball before anyone else
really helps when she's able to shoot. Another illegal screen on the play. The Blues seem very happy about that, as Isabel Martin is called for her first foul of the evening.
Yeah, Isabel just laughing that one off there.
Munro Cook into Yamamoto. Yamamoto fading away. Beautiful. Textbook, as lovely as you like.
Yeah, nothing but nut there for Yamamoto, as we see a lot of action early down here for the Sydney Blues.
So much pressure down the floor, but Victoria deal with it. Del Tosso with the ball at the free throw line. Shot clock down to 6. Del Tosso will shoot from the free throw line.
Right on there from Sydney Blues, not giving Del Tosso any chance to shoot at all. 2 players on her at all times.
Yamamoto gets pushed to the corner. So foul is called on Marianne Latu. Pushing foul down low. That will not be popular with the fans. Actually, they seem pretty cool with it. Actually, the person who was most cool with it was Marianne Latu. She was like, yeah, I did that. But the defensive pressure all the way down the floor. So Sydney are defending down the line. Munro Cook sticking out that arm and getting the ball. Munro Cook works her way down low. Coach Troy Sachs had already started writing on his pad. He already knew that was going in. Crunch. Del Tosso and Gauchi come together.
Sydney not letting Victoria do anything after that timeout there. You wonder what Troy Sachs had to say in that timeout.
Munro Cook and Adams fighting for the rebound. It will be Sydney Blues ball. Tisha Shadwell will come back in as Mari Yamamoto heads to the bench. Yamamoto with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah, she's one of the smoothest operators out here, Scott. Quick release, sharp instincts, cool under pressure. What more can you ask for from a basketball
Once
player?
again, as soon as she comes on the floor, Kylie Gauchi's looking for Tisha Shadwell. Hits her with a pass down low. Unusual situation there. Ball didn't... Leanne Delts also was saying someone should be free, but the only person who was free was the person inbounding the ball. And another offensive foul. So there's a foul on the play. So that's on Tisha Shadwell. Called for the charge. And we have a sub, Yamamoto, coming back in. Munro Cook will have a break. Heads to the bench with 16 points and 6 rebounds.
Inching closer and closer to that double-double, Scott. She is an absolute machine tonight.
Laura to volley. Chair's up. She's up on one wheel so often. Latu putting a lot of pressure. Forcing it down to the corner. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Del Tosso is going to need to shoot it. Fading away. That will not be in time, and that will be a shot clock violation.
Yeah, good pressure there from the Blues, limiting Del Tosso once again. Start to think that the offense might be running through DeVoli instead of Del Tosso tonight.
Both outstanding players. Katie Shee was not able to convert there. Kylie Gauchi down low. Found some space. Del Tosso and DeVoli come together. Crunched. Traffic jam. Marianne Latu. And there is Yamamoto. Latu. It is getting very, very chipper in here. Shadwell kicks the ball to Latu. Latu, one-handed shot technique. Kate Shee's going to watch that ball go out of bounds.
Yeah, nice little one-handed floater there from Latu. Unfortunately, could not convert that time.
So we're operating on the handheld microphones this evening at Auburn Basketball Centre, and I just touched the part of the microphone that I haven't been holding. It was so cold. It was so cold.
Yeah, my hands are inside my jumper at the moment and wrapped around the microphone to just limit how cold my fingers will be getting.
I've got the puffer vest with the hoodie, and I'm still cold. Daniela Eaglebass gets the steal. Kylie Gauchi on to volley. Oh, great defense. Isabel Martin. Outstanding defense.
Yeah, great stop there by Victoria off the back of Isabel Martin. Great to see her getting a lot more minutes this game.
Victoria operating short-handed, giving opportunities for players like Martin.
Yeah, she plays well above the classification, Scott. Does all the little things that frustrates opponents, and it's good to see her getting some more minutes and some more experience in here. And what's set out to be a tough 3-game series this weekend.
We'll be looking for her in the 3-on-3 games tomorrow and on Sunday. Every round of the wheelchair leagues will see 3-on-3 played. Usually some players who don't play as many minutes will play in the 3-on-3 games. So we will see Sydney and Victoria playing 3-on-3 tomorrow and on Sunday here at the Auburn Basketball Centre. Shelley Matheson with the ball out wide. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Matheson looking for something. Katie Shee to DeVoli. DeVoli with 1 second on the shot clock. Gets it up in time. Latu rebounds. The pass straight to Tisha Shadwell.
And that's just classic right place, right time, Scott. Excellent rebound there by Latu.
That pass from Shadwell nearly took Latu's head off. It was so strong. Adams rebounding to DeVoli. The volley's kicking the ball to Matheson. Oh, great pass from Matheson to DeVolley.
Beautiful shot inside, Scott. Beautiful off DeVolley there.
Laura DeVolley up to 10 points to go along with her 4 rebounds. Once again, Sydney just not operating as smoothly with Munro Cook sitting on the bench. Loose pass from Shadwell. Managed to collect it back up. Amamoto short with the buzzer beater. And that is the end of 3 here at Auburn Basketball Centre. Great game. The score does not reflect what we're seeing out here, where the Sydney Blues 39 are ahead by 14 over the Victoria Wonders 25.
Yeah, interesting game so far, Scott. As you said, the score does definitely not reflect what's been going on so far. Lots of missed shots. Sydney Blues sitting at 40% field goal, 19 from 47, and then on the opposite ends, Victoria sitting at 12 and 41, so 29% field goal. So very, very, very low field goal percentage so far. Interesting to note that Victoria is actually leading the rebound count 32-27 at the moment as well. Assists, steals, blocks and turnovers all falling Sydney Blues way here in the third quarter.
The turnover numbers have got to be concerning for the Wonders. 20 turnovers, just the 11 for the Blues. You know, a bit more ball security, and all of a sudden this game is so tight. You know, we talk about second chance points, almost not an issue this evening, but those points in the paint, 30-10, out hustling, outworking the team, outworking the Wonders down low.
Yeah, very much a survivor instinct and a survivor mentality, as that motto goes: outwit, outlast, and outplay. Blues just outwitting, outlasting, and outplaying, and that just comes from their veteran experience off the back of Munro, Cook, and Gauci down low.
The second season of Survivor, I entered a competition and I won a Survivor backpack, a Survivor bandana. I was still a nerd. Anyway, Georgia Munro Cook leading all scorers with 16. Mari Amamoto with 14. Laura DeVolley has 10 and Leanne Del Tosso has 7. Rebounding-wise, it has been Del Tosso. She has 8 rebounds. Munro Cook with 6. Assists, Shelley Matheson, 5 assists. Kylie Gauci with 4. So no one player is dominating the rebounding, which has been unusual. But Sydney, of course, are dominating with their high point players, Amamoto, Shadwell and Munro Cook, just constantly in there creating trouble. And then Marianne Latu as well.
Yeah, interesting to note here that Munro Cook and Gauci both back with normal shirts on. Interesting to see if they've potentially been shut down for the rest of the game, Scott.
Or, Sam, it could be cold.
That too. It is very freezing in here tonight.
Amamoto from light. Tori Simpson with the rebound. Amamoto gets the ball. She's moved so effortlessly around the floor. So much share control. Tori Simpson out to Marianne Latu. Latu loves that 45-degree ankle shot. Not this time, however.
That little one-hand floater seems to be her go-to, Scott.
Yeah, she's been... I've seen her play several times this year, called several of her games, and shooting from that 45. Usually money. Oh, Shadwell with the big block on Matheson. Sent that ball packing. And now Matheson will get called for the foul.
Yeah, nice work there by Victoria Simpson. Just putting herself in position.
I got caught laughing.
Little friendly fire down this end from Victoria.
Laura DeVolley just ran into Sarah Kalati and just said hello. It just made me laugh. Latu just lost her touch to start the fourth quarter. Not quite as consistent. Referee wants the ball. Oh dear. Got to feel the part of the game somehow.
Everyone needing to keep their hands warm tonight, Scott. Everyone getting a touch of the ball.
I'd avoid having the ball passed to me. Tisha Shadwell called for the foul. Sam, you don't know this, but I am a referee in my free time, so occasionally I'll give him credit, help him out.
Credit where credit's due for the refereeing. Tough gig all around, no matter what league it is.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for them sometimes coming off the back end of me in a game.
Laura DeVolly, outstanding chair control once again. Passing the ball down low. Kalati unable to convert. What a pass by Yamamoto, but DeVolly is so much work on defense there by Laura DeVolly. Toasty Shadwell fading away. Beautiful shot.
Taking that mismatch really, really well, Scott, there. Just using her size over that smaller player in front of her to get that shot off there.
Shadwell up to 8 points. Del Tosso to Matheson. Too long in the backcourt, an 8-second call. Defense wasn't even that intense for that one, so that was possibly a little concentration lapse. Kylie Gauchi coming back into the game, giving a well-earned break to Marianne Latu. Latu had a quiet night scoring-wise, but defensively has been creating all sorts of issues. Yamamoto now with the ball. Del Tosso defending. Shadwell at the point. Ball straight into Kalati's head. That, on a cold night, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, call a Falcon on that one. That pass from Shadwell, big and strong, but straight to the face here.
See, I didn't know if you were going to be too young to know what a Falcon was.
I've copped one too many from my time in my very, very, very short and limited career as a football player.
Okay. So it's still called a Falcon. All right. So she's going to take the sub there. She's Sarah Kalati.
Isabel Martin back into the game for her in this one.
So that's a 4.5 player off for a 1 point player. I don't know if there was another a move made there. Matheson.
I think Harriet Codwell's come back into the game as well there.
That was the corresponding move. Thank you very much, Sam. Sam Dobell joining me this evening at Auburn Basketball Centre with the Sydney Blues 41 are leading the Wonders 25. Shadwell from the free throw line. Defensive pressure from Isabel Martin. And that's led to this fast break now. Matheson unable off the glass.
Outstanding work by Sydney there, getting right back down in the middle.
Oh, Gauchi just threw that ball straight into Leanne Del Tosso's arms. Caldwell has kicked the ball to DeVolly. DeVolly working her way down. Laura DeVolly.
Yeah, nice work there for DeVolly. Wide open lane, taking full advantage of that one. Sinking it in for an easy 2.
Laura DeVolly, 12 points, 5 rebounds. Kylie Gauchi out to Yamamoto. Yamamoto finding herself with some space. Great work by the Wonders to shut down that shot. Shadwell from the free throw line. Just off. And Victoria coming back the other way. Getting some quality minutes from Harriet Caldwell. There's Del Tosso. Working down low.
She's a real momentum shifter, that one, Scott. Harriet Codwell, she's one of those players that with one steal or one transition score, suddenly the other team starts getting worried.
Ball was not up in time, so shot clock violations called. And it will be Sydney ball as Jess Cronje and Georgia Munro-Cook come in for Yamamoto and Shadwell.
Yeah, confirming our suspicions. They were just very, very cold on the bench there, Scott.
I noticed the gentleman on the score bench has removed the hood now, so maybe it's warming up. Tori Simpson inbounding the ball to Kylie Gauchi. Munro-Cook at the three-point line. Tori Simpson now. Gauchi. Gauchi getting harassed by Del Tosso. Tori Simpson's got the ball. I do not know how Tori Simpson got that shot up, but she did, and she put it down for 2. 43 plays 27.
Outstanding shot and composure there.
Oh no, 3 second in the key. Harriet Caldwell just caught camping, probably watching the fast break develop.
Yeah, great fast break there by Victoria. Just unfortunate that they could not convert off the back of that 3 second violation. Interesting to note as well, Scott, yelling out that letting the pick and roll happen for the Blues is something that Victoria are happy to let happen.
Yeah, Sydney have not been shooting the ball particularly well from long range this evening. Yamamoto is definitely a threat. Munro Cook hasn't had many opportunities. And outside of that's where their scoring threats are, from out wide. So, yeah, I'm sure they're content with that one. Here's Caldwell. Isabel Martin getting a rebound there. Kicking to DeVoley. DeVoley then to Matheson. Back to DeVoley. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Going to need to get something happening very quickly. DeVoley with the air ball. So the shot clock violation will go against Victoria.
A nice hustle there by Isabel Martin, trying to tip that one back in. Just couldn't quite get to it before the shot clock expired.
Just over 4.5 minutes remaining in this round 4 matchup. Munro Cook out to Gauci. Tori Simpson's working down low. Gauci using her speed with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Off the glass. Outstanding work from the veteran. Matheson throwing the long pass into DeVoley. DeVoley met by Cronje. Gets the ball to Totoso. Nice work from the Wonders. Taking them to 29 points.
Yeah, those two very dangerous once they start getting going. Be interesting to watch how that combo develops over the weekend, Scott.
Done a great job this evening carrying this team. DeVoley with 12, Del Tosso with 9. Munro Cook now. Long, Jess Cronje tapping the ball to Gauci. Gauci to Tori Simpson. Tori Simpson was looking for what was happening. Probably had too much of a thought. Jess Cronje with the rebound. Del Tosso knocked it loose, but Sydney have got the ball back. Georgia Munro Cook, kick ball. Daniela Eagle-Bast had to shoot the ball, shot clock winding down, and her team is ecstatic. There's a timeout on the floor.
Bit of confusion if timeout's being called. I'm assuming they're going to call a timeout on Blue since players have come onto the court.
They knew it was a timeout. So now Coach Jeremy Sinnott, he calls the timeout.
There you go. Further clarification for us there. Referee's a bit upset at that one.
So the timeout was incorrectly called because it should have been. It's the one time you can't have a timeout is when the other team has the ball after you've scored. So there was a mistake there, which led to the confusion. Everyone's coming on the court because they thought the timeout had been called, and referee Rosenberg, experienced wheelchair basketball referee, well known in the community, was trying to get players back on the court, and Jeremy Sinnott had already started his timeout, so he decided he would ask for one.
Yeah, confusing little set of motion there. 3 minutes 20 left to play in this fourth quarter. Blues steady lead, 47-29 over Victoria. Be interesting to see how this last 3 minutes goes, Scott.
So Daniela Eagle-Bast just having a look That was her first basket of the season. She's logged plenty of minutes, but yeah, that was her first basket of the season. So well done, Daniela.
Yeah, understandable how her team was excited, and great to see the team rally around their fellow troops and fellow players when everyone scores. It's great to see.
Defensive pressure all the way down the floor for Sydney Blues. They do not turn off. 18-point lead with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Jess Cronje putting pressure.
It's one of those games in one of those leagues, Scott, where you turn off for 5 seconds, you blink, and someone's got a double-double.
Well, there you go. Kim Hampton. Kim Hampton with her first basket of the evening. Just a bit of a lapse from the Sydney Blues there. Munro Cook out to Jess Cronje. Cronje kicks the ball out to Gailey Gauci. Georgia Munro Cook. That was a nice shot. Just unable to get that to go down. That's friendly fire. So Kim Hampton kicking the ball. Isabel Martin.
Smith off the glass there, and Victoria slowly edging this one back, 33-47.
Yeah,
Nice
Victoria.
quick little fast break there.
Little 4-point run. Coach Troy Sachs yelling instructions out to his team. Jess Cronje with the ball out high. Kylie Gauci now. Gauci looking for something to happen. Found the mismatch with Georgia Munro Cook over the top of Isabel Martin. Isabel Martin put her hands up valiantly, but there was no way she was going to overcome that one. Hampton kicking the ball. Laura de volley. Fast break. There was no foul on that play. Now Kylie Gauci's coming back the other way. De volley worked so hard to get back on that play. Munro Cook stopping Del Tosso there. Great defensive pressure. Offense as well going. Both teams just putting it all out there on the line. It's only game one. 5 games over this weekend these teams will be playing. De volley. That was perfectly straight. That shot just not high enough. Gauci trying to get the ball. Martin working hard. Jess Pello out to Cronje. And Jess Cronje's called for the charge. Excellent defense by Melanie Adams. Amamoto will come back in for Georgia Munro Cook. Munro Cook finishes the game with 18 points and 7 rebounds. Del Tosso to Melanie Adams.
Super
Aaron
intense
pass.
defense here, Scott.
Nice pass. Amamoto. Gauci working down low. Daniela Eagle-Bast and Amamoto. I swear I just saw Amamoto at the baseline. Then she was up at the key. Beautiful control on the layup.
And as you say that, Scott, the icing on the cake, Amamoto, top of the key, all the way down to the baseline, sinking in here for 2, finishing it off 51-33.
Kim Hampton kicking the ball down low. Melanie Adams harassed by Daniela Eagle-Bast. Back to Hampton. Amamoto with the rebound. Kylie Gauci pushing the tempo. Gauci kicks the ball to Cronje. Cronje will go to the free throw line with 16.6 seconds remaining.
Yeah, great work there by Kylie Gauci, veteran leadership on the court. Nice little 1-2 pass there.
Just Cronje misses her first free throw. Misses the second as well. As Laura de volley gets the rebound. Hampton kicking the ball down to Adams. Adams to Del Tosso. Del Tosso cops a lot of contact. 3 seconds remaining. That's going to be it for this evening's game. Oh, no, it's not. That'll teach me. Del Tosso with the little dance to celebrate the buzzer beater. And it's full time at Auburn Basketball Centre. The Sydney Blues, 51. Victoria Wonders, 35. That was a very entertaining game of wheelchair basketball this evening, Sam.
That was absolutely unreal. I thought the men's league was fantastic, but get a load of this women's league. Absolutely unreal. Sydney Blues sitting at a perfect 10-0 record. You have to wonder, are they going to go all the way this year, Scott?
Well, you know, it was exciting. The first game of the season was against last year's champion, the Sydney Uni Lions, and they absolutely dismantled the Lions over those 5 games, the 3 5-on-5 games and the 2 3-on-3 games. And it's just continued. Georgia Munro Cook, 18 points. Mari Yamamoto, 16 points. And Tisha Shadwell with 8 points as well, just getting it done for the Sydney Blues.
Yeah, great team ball effort. And we don't know if you can hear this on the live stream at the moment, but very, very loud. Very great turnout here for Sydney Blues fans. Great to see.
Yeah, wheelchair basketball community is such a loving group. We have people on both sides of the floor. You won't be able to see that on the live stream. So leading the way with the rebounds, it was Leanne Del Tosso with 10 points. DeVolly had 7 rebounds. Isabel Martin with 6. Meanwhile, for the Sydney Blues, Mari Yamamoto, 7 rebounds. Georgia Munro Cook with 7 and Jess Conyer with 5. The assist machine this evening was Kyla Gauci. She finishes the game with 7 assists, while Shelley Matheson had 5 for the Victoria Wonders. What stood out to you this evening, Sam?
It was very great to see the turning point for Sydney Blues. Obviously, it was very close early on, and we had that first early time out where Victoria came out and they put a little bit of a run, and Troy Satch had his classic spray and go off at his team, and since then there was no turning back from Sydney Blues. But worth noting that the points in the paint from Sydney Blues, 38 points in the paint, and points from turnovers from the Victoria Wonders was 22 for Sydney Blues tonight.
So we will finish up here from the Auburn Basketball Centre. Women's National Wheelchair Basketball League presented by the Beluga Foundation. Sydney Blues 51, Victoria Wonders 35.